Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now there are only a handful of well executed all-rounder cars that are, let's be honest, easy to get in and drive. They are comfortable, they are practical, and most importantly they are just easy to maintain and have literally very low ownership costs, or in fact nothing when you try to calculate. So this particular model, which is the Hyundai Tucson, is one of it, which is in this particular segment, which is the small SUV. So in today's video, let me show you why the Hyundai Tucson is one of the best small SUVs in its segment and why it is just so easier to own. But before we move forward, please consider subscribing to my channel, and you know the drill. You just press the subscription button and also make sure to leave all the notifications on so that you never miss any video updates from my channel. And also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, here's my profile on your screen, and you can go over there and give me a follow so that you can get all the behind the scenes of the car reviews that I get. So let me start from the front. You get this big glossy black color grille with the horizontal chrome slots on it and the Hyundai badging, and then you get the LED headlight cluster, and there are also turn signals inside them. And at the bottom you would find the DRS, which is next to the halogen fog lamp. At the bottom there are just normal plastic so that there is no damage to the paint work in scuffs and all. Now on the sides you get these 19-inch alloy rims in this turbine fan type design, and you get these black plastic on the fenders, and also at the bottom another silver bit like a plastic trim, and all these are given so that you don't damage your fender or the side body. And these side mirrors are power foldable, they are power adjustable, and they also have blind spot warning inside them along with the turn signal. And there is also a 360, one of the cameras mounted out of the 360-degree camera system into this side mirror. And then you get the half chrome surround around these windows, and then these door handles are chromed again, and these doors are keyless entry doors, and you get black roof rails on top, and the actual roof is black, but it's a panoramic sunroof which is made out of glass, which is why it is completely black. Now in the back, not much has actually changed from the previous generation. So you get this combination of LED and halogen tail light cluster, and the Tucson badging out here, the Hyundai badging, and the 2.4 GDI badging. Now in terms of the visibility, you get pretty decent visibility from the Tucson. The only problem is the pillars in the back are actually quite thick, so they come all the way into your rear view mirror, and as that would just reduce some amount of visibility, but it's still pretty alright. At the bottom again, plastic pieces that have been given along with this silver color plastic trim, so you don't damage the lower end of your bumper. And these are like dual triangular styled exhaust tips that have been given. When it comes to the boot space, you get in the standard settings, when the rear seats are upright, you get 513 liters of boot space, and then there is also this boot separator that you can put on top, but I've just put it at the bottom. There is also a slot in which you can just put it so that it doesn't come in your way, but it just consumes a little bit of boot space because there's no space to put it at the bottom. But at the bottom there is also a spare wheel. Now let me just show you that. So there is also a spare wheel which has been given at the bottom, and there are some tie points in the back, and for your shopping bags and stuff. And these seats are foldable in a ratio of 60:40, but for that you have to go in the front and fold them. And when you do that, let me just fold the other seat and come back to you. So when you do that, you get 1503 liters of boot space, and again there is no space to put this, so you can put this on the side. So the boot space is actually pretty flat even when the seats are folded down. So yeah, it's a relatively flatter area, so larger objects can actually slide in and out quite easily. There are also scuff plates in the back so that you don't damage your bumper, and this tailgate is electronically operated. Well, it took me exactly 5 minutes to just get inside this car when I collected this car and to understand everything that was there in this car. But which is why when I started the video I mentioned that it's just one of the easiest cars to get in and start driving. So when it comes to the quality of materials given on this one, there is a lot of plastic that has been given on the Hyundai Tucson, but good quality of plastic is what I would say. So you get soft touch plastics out here on the dashboard, even on the door cards, and this is not actually the leather on the side on the door cards, but actually just the plastic that they have given. And so the thing is, it's not about luxury, but more of practicality, what has been the main focus of inside the Tucson. So again, you get soft touch plastic out here, and then normal plastic out here. Wish there was like a soft touch out here, because that's when I am driving usually your knee tends to rest on that area. And then again, soft touch leather covered dashboard half out here with the wine red stitching on it. Even out here in the center armrest out here, it's a little hard though, but it's leather covered. Now when it comes to the dashboard, you get two big dials on both the sides, and then in the center you find a screen, colorful screen, which will show you your fuel economy, your other information about your trip, your driving info, and the speed. And then there's also a button mounted on the steering wheel on the right side. When you press that, you can see different options like the compass, and also the information about your tire pressure and what wheels are being powered out of the four wheels, and also detailed settings in which you can change everything from your driver assistant, door light, sound, convenience, several intervals, all of that. But it's just that it's a little tricky because it's all buried inside this small screen. So yeah, you have to go a lot of back and forth, and you have to press a lot of buttons to get inside those menus. When it comes to the steering wheel is leather covered steering wheel, and it's also got this wine red stitching in it, and this is manually adjustable, tilt and telescopic, so you can adjust both. And on your right side you will find controls to adjust the screen on the dashboard, and also the cruise control. So this Tucson comes with standard cruise control system, and the buttons are mounted on the right side. On the left side you will find the controls for your infotainment and also the communication controls. But I just found that there were too many buttons on the steering wheel, but otherwise yeah, it's a nice and easy to grip with enough of thumb support, like you can rest your thumbs during the longer journeys. Now when it comes to the air conditioning controls, I am glad again Hyundai just believes in keeping it very simple and practical. So you get all the buttons to operate your air conditioning control out here at the bottom. So you get both the dials on both the sides. So this is a dual zone air conditioning control, so you get dials on both the sides for the driver and the passenger. There are buttons to switch it on and off, the flow of air, the fan speed, and also there are buttons on both the sides for the seats, which is the heated and the cooled seats that you get in this Hyundai Tucson. So the buttons are given on both the sides. And when it comes to the infotainment screen, you get 8-inch LCD screen, and again the infotainment system is actually pretty simple and dead easy to get in and start operating. So there is a main screen on which you will find your navigation system, and then the navigation system is quite alright. The system itself is a little laggy sometimes, I found, but most of the times it's just pretty fine and working flawless. There are more buttons and options on the screen itself for your radio, your media, and then the detailed setup in which you can get in and adjust everything on this infotainment system. And also when it comes to the connectivity, you can connect to this infotainment system using the Bluetooth. There's also a USB, there's also an auxiliary, and then there is also Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so you can choose whichever option and then you can connect to this system. Now when it comes to the charging or the connectivity, there is one USB port in the front, and also 12 volt 180 watt power socket in the front, and then there is also a wireless charging given out here, which can also be used to store the phone. And then there is also another 12 volt power socket on that side, and there's also one USB port given for the rear passenger. Now when it comes to the storage, you can put like 1 liter worth of bottle in the door cards and some more storage on the sides. And then there is also this charging pad which can also be used to store your phones and wallets. There's also a small storage out here next to the two cup holders, which are flexible cup holders. So yeah, there's also a height difference inside the cup holders, so they can accommodate more shallow cups. And there's also a glove box out here, which is a cooled glove box, which is pretty cool. And there is also a handrest, which is also a storage. And then there is also this tray in which you can separate stuff. I don't know, you can put your wallets on top and more stuff at the bottom. You can store like 2.5 liter worth of bottle in this center armrest, but it's not slidable, but it's just fixed. Now this Hyundai Tucson comes with a big panoramic sunroof, and it actually makes the whole cabin feel so airy. And it's not just that, even the sunroof, the actual sunroof that opens, it opens quite a bit all the way till the back. There are also more buttons given out here in the center console for your drive modes, your auto hold, your parking, and the hill descent control buttons for that, and also more buttons on the driver side, on the left side, for your differential lock, the lane warnings, the blind spot warning if you want to switch it on and off, and the traction control if you want to switch it on and off. When it comes to these seats, these are wine red perforated leather seats, and they have this wine red stitching in them. But the thing is, these leather seats, I found them to be a little harder than the usual. I don't know, I just prefer fabric seats more than the leather seats. But yeah, these leather seats are slightly harder, but they are pretty wide and easy to fit inside, and they have nice bit of support under the thigh also. And the driver side seat is 8-way electronically adjustable, and even the passenger seat is 8-way electronically adjustable, while the driver side seat has also the lumbar support, which is electronic, so 2-way that, and you can adjust that also. You also get 8-speaker Infinity music system on this Hyundai Tucson. Now thumbs up to Hyundai to even consider giving more space even for the rear passengers, because look at this, there's ample of knee room out here, and also there is enough of headroom, so someone about 6 feet will be able to sit inside the rear seats in the back quite easily, even in the center. So there's not much of a tunnel out here, it's very small, so even when you sit in the center, the passenger in the middle is also going to be quite comfortable. There is not much of a hump out here, and these seats are again leather seats, again in wine red color with the red stitching. And then there is also this hand rest when there is no middle passenger with 2 cup holders, but these are just the one size cup holders that you will get in the back. And these seats are actually reclinable, so there's a lever on the sides, and then you can go like quite back, and both these seats are foldable in a ratio of 60:40. And in the back you get the plastic door card, soft touch plastics out here, and even in the red ones are again soft touch, and you can put like 0.5 liter worth of bottle in the door card. You can also slide your legs underneath the seat to get that extra bit of room for longer journeys. There are also 2 AC vents in the back, and you can just control the circulation of air. So the Hyundai Tucson comes with a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder GDI petrol engine that produces 185 brake horsepower and 240 Newton meters of torque. Now also this engine has been mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission, and it comes with an all-wheel drive system. And to be honest, the entire powertrain is just pretty smooth in short, because there's really nothing to fault. The power is just decent enough, and it accelerates also quite well. And I love the fact that the gearing ratios on this 6-speed automatic transmission is pretty good, because usually you would feel like the 6-speed transmission would be a little short considering when a car of this size. So but it doesn't make you feel like that. There are also driving modes like the comfort, the eco, and the sport mode. You can put it in the sport mode, and just it shifts the shifting points, the gear shifting points to a higher RPM. But otherwise there is nothing much there, like giving you additional power or anything. So yeah, unless you are in a lot of hurry or you've gotten really late, then yeah, probably you can use the sport mode. And when it comes to the efficiency from this engine, you would get anywhere between 9 to 10, because I've pretty much driven like 350 kilometers by now, and I'm getting an average of up to 10, and inside the city maybe you'll get around 9. So that is also decent enough, especially when it's a family SUV. Now when it comes to the steering system, it's pretty confident tackling the corners, and there is a great amount of feedback that you get from the steering wheel, and it's pretty pointy, and it's quite rarely SUVs of this size would be like sporty enough. I mean, it's not obviously sporty, but then on a day-to-day basis, they aren't that confident. But yeah, in days, it's pretty smooth that way, and you can actually get the feedback from the steering wheel too. Now when it comes to the suspension, they are like somewhere between hard and soft, so they are just there in the middle, and as a result of that, you get like very bare minimum amount of roll on this car. In fact, which is why it gets that precise sort of steering and handling from the system. And also the suspensions are on a daily run quite comfortable, and yeah, on it soaks all the bumps quite well. And yeah, only on certain occasions you would find the suspensions to be a little harder, and as a result of that, you would sort of feel a few bumps directly into the cabin. Also, the noise levels inside this Tucson are quite good. In fact, because there's a big panoramic sunroof, yet they've taken care of making sure that the noise levels inside the cabin are bare minimum, and yeah, you wouldn't really notice much of any sounds or wind whooshing or anything. Just a bit of tire noise that you would hear at a higher speed, especially from the front two wheels. Yeah, that's the only bit of noise that you will hear, and there is no crackling or rattling of any plastics or anything. So yeah, in terms of the build quality, it's pretty good. Now when it comes to the brakes, let me accelerate a little bit and then full emergency stop to show you the braking power. Whoa. Yeah, so the emergency stop signal also kicks in. That's one of the safety features. So yeah, you get 4 disc brakes and they work pretty well. And when it comes to the safety systems, now you get all the safety systems like 2 front airbags for the driver and the passenger, 2 side airbags again for the driver and the passenger, 2 curtain airbags. There are also child ISOFIX points in both the rear seats. There are also tire pressure monitoring system. There is also hill descent control that you get. There is also a 360-degree camera system, and that 360-degree camera system has a little bit of saturation and graining issues. I don't know. There is an LCD screen that they've given on this, but yet the output from that is still, I'll say, alright. It's not the best. There's also electronic stability control. There is also other safety systems, and that way this car is pretty. And bear in mind, all these features, safety features, are all standard across all the models. So, which is why it's a really good offering. Now, when it comes to the pricing, this Hyundai Tucson is priced at 119,700 dirham, which is this premium model. And to be honest, Hyundai Tucson is a car which does very little things wrong and great bit of deals which are right. And for that, I would give full marks to this car, because let's be honest, yes, this car lacks a bit of a character. It's a bit bland for everyday driving, but when it comes to just getting in the car every day and then for 6 days of the week, this is going to do the job very well, because it's spacious, it's comfortable, it's loaded with pretty much all the tech inside, and it's that way pretty advanced too. So it does the job, an everyday job of just being a daily driver, and for that it's a really great car. And when was the last time you heard a Tucson driver or an owner complain about what was wrong with this car? Because there isn't really much wrong with this car, and obviously there is nothing that can go wrong in this because of the solid build quality and the low ownership cost that you get with this car. And for that, you should definitely put this car in your list, and I'll just say go ahead and buy this car also. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did like this video, please make sure to leave a like on this video so that others also can get to know and see this video. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, then you can click here, and if you want to watch more videos, then click here. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye and take care.